If your feet feel numb, tingling, or like you're walking on cotton wool, your nervous system may be trying to tell you something you shouldn't ignore. Karen felt it every single morning for 2 years. Cold feet that wouldn't warm up. A tingling that crept slowly up her shins by evening. She assumed it was simply part of getting older. She was wrong. Karen became a patient of one of Japan's oldest practicing doctors, a man who has spent decades treating aging bodies the traditional way, through movement, not medication. After he showed her 4 simple chair exercises, she slept through the night for the first time in 2 years. Took her 3 weeks. And today, by watching this video in full, you can try the exact same 4 moves he gave her. Every exercise is done sitting down. You can start the very first one within a minute. But stay with us through to the 4th, because that is the one that finally gave Karen her feet back. Before we begin, if your feet tingle, burn, or go numb at night, type the word feet in the comments below. It helps us understand how many people are quietly dealing with this, and it helps this video reach others who need to see it. Now let's talk about what's actually happening, because understanding the problem is the first step toward fixing it. Peripheral neuropathy, the medical term for numbness, tingling, or burning sensations in the feet, affects a significant percentage of adults over 60, and researchers in neurology and podiatry have long studied why this happens with age. As we get older, the small nerve fibers in our feet, along with the blood vessels that feed them, naturally become less active if they aren't regularly stimulated. This isn't necessarily permanent nerve death. In many cases, particularly age-related and circulation-related neuropathy, the nerves have simply gone quiet from disuse, much like a muscle weakens when it isn't used. This matters more in English-speaking countries than many people realize. In the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada, several factors combine to make this especially common. First, these countries have aging populations, with the number of adults over 65 growing rapidly. Second, modern lifestyles in these countries tend to involve far more sitting, whether at desks, in cars, or in front of screens, than in previous generations. Third, thick-soled modern footwear, while comfortable, reduces the natural sensory feedback our feet receive from the ground, feedback that nerves rely on to stay active. And fourth, conditions like type 2 diabetes, which is highly prevalent in the US, UK, and Australia, are one of the leading medical causes of nerve damage in the feet, known as diabetic peripheral neuropathy. Put these factors together, sedentary lifestyles, an aging population, cushioned footwear, and high rates of diabetes, and it becomes clear why so many people in these countries quietly struggle with cold, numb, or tingling feet, often assuming nothing can be done about it. But here is the important part. For many people, especially those whose neuropathy is related to circulation and disuse rather than advanced diabetic nerve damage, targeted movement can make a genuine difference. Physical therapists and researchers studying lower limb circulation have long understood that the calf muscles act as a secondary pump for blood returning from the feet, sometimes called the second heart. When we sit for long periods, this pump stops working effectively, blood pools in the lower legs, and the nerve tissue in the feet, which requires a steady supply of oxygen-rich blood to function properly, becomes starved. Nerve tissue is extremely oxygen-hungry, and when it doesn't get enough, tingling and numbness often follow. This is exactly why Japan's oldest doctor built this routine, not as a miracle cure, but as a simple, consistent way to reactivate circulation and sensory input in the feet. Stay with us because we're going to walk through the reasoning behind each move, then guide you through them exactly as he demonstrated to Karen. One important note before we begin. This routine is designed to support circulation and nerve stimulation related to aging and sedentary habits. If you live with diabetes, especially advanced diabetic neuropathy, or you notice sudden changes in sensation, please consult your own doctor before starting any new exercise routine, since diabetic nerve damage requires medical supervision. We begin by waking the pathways gently. Sit tall in your chair with both feet flat on the floor. Slowly roll each ankle 10 times in one direction, then 10 times in the other. This encourages blood flow down into the feet. Next, gently tap both feet on the floor 20 times, alternating left and right like a soft, steady drum. This simple warm-up signals to your nervous system that a change is coming. As you age. Exercise 1 is the seated toe raise and spread. If your toes feel stiff, curled, or disconnected from the rest of your foot, The nerve pathways controlling them may have gone quiet from disuse. If you're able to remove your shoes and socks for this, the bare skin contact with the floor gives your feet sensory input they rarely receive anymore. Sit tall, lift all 10 toes as high as you can, hold for 3 seconds, then spread them as wide as possible for 2 more seconds before lowering slowly. That's 1 repetition. Aim for 12. Pay close attention to which toes respond easily and which seem to lag behind. Often the smallest toes need the most encouragement. By the end of her first week doing this, Karen described her feet feeling less like 2 blocks of wood and more like feet again. Not fully, but enough to notice, and noticing is exactly where recovery begins. Before moving to exercise 2, if this video is helping you understand something about your own feet, tap the like button now. It helps this video reach other people quietly dealing with the same thing. Exercise 2 is the seated calf pump with a foot press, and it directly targets that circulation pump we discussed earlier. Sitting tall, raise both heels as high as comfortable, rising onto the balls of your feet, then press firmly into the floor for 2 seconds at the top before lowering slowly and with control. That's 1 repetition, and we recommend 20 at a calm, even pace, roughly 1 raise and lower every 4 seconds. Karen reported that by her 15th repetition, she felt genuine warmth return to her left foot for the first time in years. A simple but powerful sign that fresh blood was reaching tissue that had been cold and undersupplied. Exercise 3 is seated foot rolling with a towel, targeting the arch of the foot, an area rich in nerve endings that's often overlooked. Place a rolled towel under the arch of your right foot, and slowly roll forward and back from the ball of the foot to the heel, pressing gently as you go. When you find a spot that feels numb or tender, pause and hold steady pressure there for 10 seconds. Roll each foot for 60 seconds. Interestingly, the nerve endings in the arch also connect to your sense of balance, known as proprioception, meaning this simple towel exercise may also support stability and reduce fall risk, something particularly important for older adults. Now we reach exercise 4, seated shin taps and ankle circles, the move that finally gave Karen relief. This targets the tibialis anterior, the muscle along the front of the shin responsible for lifting the front of the foot while walking. When this muscle weakens, the foot can begin to drag slightly, increasing the risk of tripping. Sit tall with heels planted. Lift the front of both feet as high as you can, hold for 2 seconds, then lower slowly.
Do 15 repetitions.
Then lift your right foot slightly and draw 10 slow, wide ankle circles, 5 in each direction, before switching to the left foot. To finish, press both feet firmly into the floor for 5 seconds, then release. Gently massage the top of each foot from ankle to toe, 10 strokes per side. Then shake both feet loosely for 10 seconds. Today, Karen sleeps through the night. Her tingling hasn't disappeared entirely, and neuropathy still requires ongoing management, but it has softened enough that it no longer wakes her. She walks to her kitchen without needing to press her feet into the floor just to feel something real beneath them. If this video helped you understand your own feet a little better, tap that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone whose feet deserve better care. And make sure to watch our next episode, where we'll go even deeper into protecting your health as you age.